Do you know one of the most covert ways you can be tracked today? Well, let's just take a quick look at one of the quickly growing ways to track people today. We all know about GPS trackers, and they are effective to be sure. Most GPS trackers report a person's location, or at least the location of the GPS tracker, in real time or pretty darn close to real time. And most GPS trackers are accurate within a few feet these days, which is scary in and of itself, I must say. But the largest growing technology today that is being used to track people is not the old reliable GPS tracker. Now, as the song goes, don't let me be misunderstood. GPS trackers are still being widely used today, but there is a new technology out there that is becoming more and more common. Have you ever heard of the Tile Tracker or the Apple AirTag or other similar personal device trackers? Yep, these are getting to be more commonly used devices, to be sure. These devices talk to each other and talk to other devices on their network, and they talk to phones, tablets, and computers with the right software installed and can be used to track a person or an object. And these devices are very small. In fact, I have found small personal device trackers the size of a quarter, yep, about 3/4 of an inch in diameter and almost as flat as a quarter too. Now, a device that small can be hidden under a seat, tossed in a cubby, put in a backpack, placed under a floor mat, or hidden in just about anything. And given their size, one might think they are the largest growing threat in our personal security related to being tracked. But there is another technology used to track people that is even more stealth, more hidden, and even harder to detect. This video is sponsored by ORAP Insurance and Working PI Magazine. ORAP is a leading provider of private investigator liability insurance. Visit orap.org for a quote today. What other means of tracking a person can you think of? I would love to hear about it. Go down in the comments below and let me know. One of the most elusive ways to track someone today is with this device. Yep, you can be tracked with your very own cell phone. And it is becoming easier and easier to use a person's very own cell phone to track them without them ever knowing about it. Now, for years, we have always thought that a person had to have possession of the device in order to install nefarious software such as trackers, keyloggers, message and email readers, and the like. But now all a person needs on a lot of systems out there is the login information, and they can push software onto the device remotely. The way they do it is they log into another device with your login credentials. Then they install the software on that device and can push it over to all the devices on that same account. But folks, that is not the biggest secret here. I know to some this may be a big secret, but there is an even bigger secret you need to know about. Let me ask you a few simple questions, and do me a favor, go down in the comments below and leave your answers to these questions. If you were a king or a queen, what would be your royal name? What country would you love to visit more than anywhere else? Everyone has a deep, dark, secret name. What is yours? Okay, I know you were like, what the heck? Has the PI guy flipped his lid? How many of those questions did you answer? Probably none. But if you saw the same post on, let's say, Facebook or some other social media page, then would you have answered? Would you have clicked to find your secret royal name or who your secret admirer is? These and so many similar questions float about on social media that everyone thinks they are just simple little games to help pass the time. And we have gotten so used to them, we just click them once in a while to, well, just play along. But do you know the deep, dark secret to many of these tantalizing puzzles we see every day? Many of these, not all to be sure, but many of them are simply trying to gather information about us for nefarious purposes. You click, then it asks a few seemingly meaningless and safe questions, so it can, of course, give you the answer that you need. Some of these questions may seem random, like What is your favorite dog breed? How many children do you have? What is the first letter of your middle name? What street did you grow up on? Then it gives you your very own personal royal name, King Mutt Poodle the First. And you chuckle, then you share it with all of your friends, and then others can play along. Then another one comes up and it asks you a few more of those seemingly innocent personal questions, like who was your first crush on? What is your favorite rock singer? What is better, this soda or that soda? Then it gives you another whimsical answer to enlighten your day, and you share it, get another chuckle, and you move on. This happens day in and day out. Now you are doing this several times a day, and well, nothing bad has ever happened, so it must be okay, right? After all, Facebook and Twitter and all of these social media companies are looking out for our best interests, right? Right? Isn't that right? They got our backs, don't they? Well, folks, the social media companies want anything that keeps you on the site longer to be on their site, so there is not a lot of vetting going on there, sorry to say. But the fact that they, whoever they are getting all of this personal information of yours is not the big secret here, folks. Let's keep digging a little further down this rabbit hole, if you will. Now, they have compiled all of this info, and in many cases, they are able to decipher pieces of information you have given them, along with other pieces of information about you on the internet, and then they can start to gain access to your accounts. Do this really quick. Open up a browser, go to Google, and search for your first and last name in quotes, and then behind that, put the city and state you live in, then behind that, type email, and then hit enter. Now go through the results. I'll wait. Take a look and see what you see. Did you see any pages that come up with one of your email addresses? Now, I did this with someone I know, and I came up with all kinds of information, including partial and complete email addresses, spouse's name, children's names, dates of birth, ages, you name it. Now, what these companies, if that is what they are, can do is they can take all of the information out there about you already, mix it in with some of the good old-fashioned AI, the artificial intelligence, and come up with possible passwords for your login. Does it work every time for them? Nope. But all they need is for it to work some of the time. But wait, that's not the big secret here, folks. Remember, we are talking about how people do a hack and track on your phone. How do they get nefarious software onto your phone in the first place? Now go to this website, haveibeenpawned.com. This little site will tell you if your email has been hacked or pawned in the past. Now, for most of us, it will come up with something like this. Now, scroll down and you will see all of the breaches where your personal information has been compromised. Look at some of those results. They will tell you what was compromised, like your email address, your IP address, your name, your username, your password. Now, how did they get your password in the first place? Many times, it's from those seemingly innocent little social games people play over and over and over, and their bots just keep trying over and over and over with tidbits of information you give them until they get in. Now, really quick, if you want to be more freaked out, go to haveibeenpawned.com/passwords. Here you can type in your password and see if it has been breached. But wait, how does that help someone track you with your phone, you say? Well, you see, folks, if someone knows that your accounts have been compromised, then it just takes a little more work on their behalf to get that compromised information. It ain't rocket science, to be sure, but I am not going to go into the details how to do that in this video.